Yeah.
Okay, we should have people coming in soon.
Okay. Now, are you able to connect me to Sí, sí, compañero. Estoy aquí tratando de conectarme. Este, ¿No te dejo conectarte? María, ¿sería posible que le mandes, ¿quieres que te mande por teléfono? Sí. ¿Le puedes mandar por texto a este Apolonio el link, por favor?
Ya, le
Sí,
mando el
porque,
link normal, right? Not the Adriana one.
no, el normal,
Ajá, ok.
por
Hola
favor.
Ismael, buenos días.
Buenos días. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning, how
morning,
are you?
Ismael. Good morning, everyone.
Buenos días. Good. How was the rest of the retreat over at Wonder Valley?
It was pretty wonderful. Also your audio is really good today. You know how normally people are like, oh, like, está como un poquito quiet. It's really good.
Yeah, I was checking the settings before I jumped on, and my mic was like halfway on, so that's probably part of the reason why. In the
Oh, okay.
well, good.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad
It was really wonderful. But I did get home really late last night at I don't know, 7:30. And then I locked in for work till like 1:30 in the morning. So I'm pretty tired today.
understandable. Well, I'm glad you had a good time out there with the rest of the fellows.
Yeah, they're a pretty wonderful group. I started a group chat for all of us, so we're staying in contact through there, sending pictures to each other and stuff.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna check to see if I need to promote others to panelists.
Yeah, I thought I saw Natalie join.
So
Yes,
Apolonio
yes.
he's just waiting for your text message and then he's going to try to connect through his phone. Thank you.
Yeah, I just text him right now. And then I added you to the chat also, Adriana, so you could see that I text him.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, you're welcome. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Maria. How are you?
Hi, Linda. I'm doing great. So I'm using Jesse's account. I'm not Jesse. He'll he'll be joining us, but he probably is going to be on his phone, joining us through his phone. He has some stuff he has to take care of personally, so he does want to listen in, but I don't think he'll be able to unmute, but he'll be there in the background listening.
Great. We look forward to having him join however he can.
Yeah, yeah. He's always there. He's always present.
Yeah.
So
Hi,
I'm gonna
Ishmael.
go ahead.
Hi, Linda. Good to see you all this morning.
Oh, good to see you.
Yeah, and I'll just quickly share before we start that your very own Maria Linares is part of our fellowship program at California Forward. She just took part in a 3-day orientation retreat. It's part of a statewide steward leadership program. She's one of 16 fellows that are going to be participating through this 12-month experience. Um, and so we are happy to have some Orange County representation through Maria. But
Yeah, it was really awesome to be a part of it. So I felt really grateful to be selected.
well, excellent. I'm glad it was a good kickoff experience for you. And we will be looking for others in Orange County in years to come to participate in that leadership opportunity. So Maria will help us find some folks who could be good fits for that in the future.
Yeah,
Well,
I've already identified a few people.
great, excellent. So we are at the 9 a.m. mark, and out of respect for everybody's time and the agenda we have here today, I want to make sure we have ample time to give everybody um, the time they need to go through their presentation. So I think we'll get started. Buenos días. Bienvenidos a esta reunión de enero, la primera reunión del año. Los invito a que compartan su información, su nombre, su organización en el chat para que se introduzcan esta mañana. You go ahead and keep using the chat function to say hello and good morning to your peers. Um, asking questions along the way as well. Si tienen preguntas durante las presentaciones, los invitamos que hagan esas preguntas usando también la función del chat. But we are going to get started for the sake of time. And Maria, as she usually does so diligently, will be dropping the agenda packet in the chat to have it handy for you and so that you can reference as we go through our hour together. But welcome everybody. I hope,
Can I add something real quick, Ish? I'm so sorry.
yeah, no, go ahead.
If you're a voting collaborative member, if you're part of the collaborative, if you haven't been promoted to panelist, please raise your hand or send me a message in the chat, and then that way I can ensure that I'm promoting you. I'm trying to do everyone as they're coming in.
Great. Thank you for that important detail, Maria. And yeah, Jesse, as Maria mentioned, will be joining us via phone. Won't be active during today's meeting as he's multitasking some things, but we'll be listening in. And then the last thing I'll just share is I hope that the new year is off to a great start for all of you, as we, believe it or not, get ready to, in another week or so, complete the first month of the year. It's a little crazy that we're already staring at February, but I hope it's all going well for you so far. And let's jump in. So we are going to move into our second agenda item with updates on round 2 and round 3 contracts. And as we've done with previous meetings, we'll continue to share these updates regularly on these collaborative calls on how progress is being made by Catalyst awardees. These contract updates are standing agenda items to keep everybody in the know and in the loop on the progression of these projects. And we'll be continuing to talk about them as we meet throughout the course of the year. And so at this point, I'd like to welcome our friend Natalie from Charitable Ventures, our fiscal agent for this initiative, who will be providing us with the latest updates on these awardees. And so, Natalie, I invite you to come off mute, and the floor is yours. And we will also follow Natalie's comments with some updates from the sector investment coordinators. And so we'll have a lot of information for you to listen to and digest today on how progress is being made, but things are moving in the right direction. And as Natalie presents, Maria will be sharing the screen so that we can all follow along. And you'll also have some time at the end of Natalie's presentation to ask any questions you may have or offer any comments for the benefit of the conversation. So, Natalie, if you're here, and I do see you, welcome. Good to see you, and the floor is yours.
Natalie, do you prefer that I share the slides, or would you prefer to share on your own?
Oh, I can share, unless I don't have permission.
Awesome. Yeah, go ahead. No, you could do that.
Okay, sounds good. Give me a second here. And please let me know when you can see my screen.
It's loading.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see.
I can see it.
Perfect. Let me go into presentation mode. You guys still see everything? Just a slide at this point?
Yeah, and we see your title slide, yes.
Perfect. All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy New Year. Happy holidays, everything. This is the typical awardee updates for rounds 1 through 3 at this point, since round 3 was officially awarded in November and contracts have started since then. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first is contracts. For round 1 contracts, all 3.4 million has been committed to all 14 awardees. I can see that on the pie chart to the right here. So about 38% of the $9 million funding. For round 2, it was a total of $4.6 million, and that's been committed to 18 awardees. That makes up the big orange chunk on the left there, about 51% of the $9 million. And round 3, as I mentioned earlier, the contract effective date was November, and there were a total of 14 awardees. 8 have fully executed contracts, 6 are on their final steps in the process. I know there's been some delay, mostly on my end, and I apologize for anyone that's on the call that's still managing with me on that. So I appreciate your patience and understanding. But for all the round 3 awardees, their contract effective date is November, and so everyone is now leading into the new year with about 8 months left of the contract to spend down the funds that have been awarded to them. And then with that being said, of the 8 fully executed contracts, About $483,000 of the 1 million has been committed. I don't know if there's any questions right now, but I'll hold for questions at the end. I'll move on to finances next. Um, for finances, for round one, about 50% of the contracts have elapsed. I did want to elaborate on the contracts that have elapsed. So what that means is, for round one, if you can recall, in the last meeting that we talked about updates, the contracts for round one awardees had started either in May or June of 2025, and so to date now has been from that date to now has been half the time between the end of September, which is when the contract ends. And so that's to kind of give a brief explanation as what I mean when I say contracts elapsed. And with that, about 34% of the committed funds have been sent to the awardees. You can see that in the pie chart on the top left for round one. So about 34% has been spent, and then there is about $2 million, 2.2 or 66% of the funding left to be sent. For round two, in that same vein, 33% of the contracts have elapsed, and about 6% of the committed funds have been sent out. So remaining is about $4.3 million. These contracts, as a reminder, had started. Oh my gosh. I should have this on the top of my head. I'm gonna say either October or November. I'd even say December. So, sorry, I don't have that written on the slide, so I'm sorry. If you need to follow with me, by all means, feel free to. So about 4.3 million left to send out to the round two awardees. And then finally, round three is of the $1 million. No committed funds have been sent yet, just because their contracts have started. And they've only recently began to start their work. So on this pie chart to the far right, the big one, that just captures how much of the $9 million funding for the subcontractors have been spent. So about 1.4 million of the 9 million, so 7.5 million remains. And that ends my presentation. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen, but feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is here and also in the agenda. I will stop screen sharing so I can see if there's any questions at this point. Thank you, guys.
Great. Thanks, Natalie, for that update. Let's open it up for questions or comments from the group here. And if you need us to go back to any of the slides that we just walked through, we can pull that back up as well. Any comments or questions on budget updates, spending updates, contracting updates? If, for those of you that are still working on that process, maybe this, here's an opportunity to ask a question if you have one. There's a question in the chat that I'm seeing from Vatana. Is there any concern around funding not being spent by a certain date?
So
By the end date, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Thank you so much for sharing that question that you saw in the chat, Ish. And good morning, Vatana. Are there any concerns around funds not being spent by the end date? So the Charitable Ventures team is working closely with the Orange County Business Council to look at everyone's spend down. And I think in the coming weeks, as we identify projects that could use some either light nudge or funds may need to be redeployed, the OCBC team should reach out. But Dr. Rod, I don't know if you're off mute. If you wanted to respond,
I
go
did
by all
take
means, go
myself.
ahead.
Vatana, at this point, we don't have any concerns. We'll continue to monitor that, but at this point, we don't have any concerns in that area.
Thank you, Dr. Rod.
Great.
But-
Question from Josefa in the chat. For round one, which technically started in May, but we didn't actually start the work until July, do we have a full year from when the work started?
I can go ahead and answer this question. Thank you, Ish. Josefa, I understand you started work in July, so you have until the end of your contract date in order to complete the work that's listed in your work plan and spend out the money that's listed in your budget. So you have until September 30th, 2026 to spend out all the money. I hope that answer helps.
Great. Thank you, Natalie. Other questions in the chat or I welcome you to come off mute and ask them as well. But anyone else have comments or questions?
So could I'm
Yes,
sorry.
please do. Go ahead, Linda.
Yeah, a follow-up question to what Josefa just asked. Because there's sort of been fits and starts along the way. That being said, the spend down is part of the equation, but the completion of the goals and the completion of the project is another matter. Are those two things related? In other words, do you have to spend down and complete everything in the project by end date in September? Or can you spend down and still carry over with project implementation and execution beyond September?
No, all activities have to be completed by September 30th, Linda.
All
Yep.
activities.
All
Yes.
activities and all funding too.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question, Linda, and the responses from Dr. Walrod and Natalie are helpful. Thank you. Other questions or comments? We still have time for maybe one or two, if others want to jump in. And feel free to use the chat. Si hay preguntas o comentarios que gusten hacer, los invitamos a que prendan su micrófono o nos den la pregunta en la función del chat, una pregunta escrita.
And then Natalie, I know your email address is at the end of your fourth slide. So could you add it in the chat just in case people have questions? Natalie is really responsive, so is her team. So feel free to email her if you have any other questions or any questions come up from now till the meeting ends.
Thank you, Maria. Yeah, I'll go and drop it in the chat right now.
And you said, I see your note in the chat about the technical difficulties you're having with the audio. Feel free to just use the chat. We'll make sure your questions and your comments get elevated here through me. So not a problem. We'll figure this out. Okay, unless there's any other questions or comments, we're going to proceed with the next item on the agenda, and that is an update from our sector investor coordinators. And just like we're doing with this presentation from Natalie, Maria will be sharing her screen to facilitate the presentation from the coordinators. But we're going to start off with Jacqueline, who's here from Social Impact Advising Group. She'll be giving us an update on the CAP-OC weatherization project. The project Kinship will follow, and the CLO Childcare Business Incubator will have representatives from OC, Iranian Chamber of Commerce, talk about the Tavan project. And then we'll move on to our friends from the Goodwill Industries EVSC program, the Electric Vehicle Supply Equipment Program. And so we'll get a chance to go a little deep on what some of these sector coordinators have been up to. But we'll start off with Jacqueline. And Jacqueline, are you here?
Yes.
And ready to go? I see you there. Okay, excellent. Let's turn the floor over to you, and Maria will help you advance the slides. So please jump in. Thank you.
Thank you. Buenos dias, everyone.
Buenos
Thank
dias.
you for hosting the sector investment coordinators. So I'm Jacqueline. I lead Social Impact Advising Group, and I'll walk through a couple different projects. But to start out, we have a Community Action Partnership of Orange County. They have a weatherization project, and right now their priority is to transition from the acquisition of a building to actually building that out and adding their features for their training program into the space. So for a while, their focus area was finding a facility that met their needs. That definitely led to some challenges, as you can imagine, in real estate in Orange County. But we're really excited that they were able to acquire this and move into their next phase of work. It did delay and adjust their training timeline. There's no concerns in terms of meeting their outlined priorities. They're just delaying it a little bit, but everything's on track. And their next focus is to really identify domain experts and connections to support zoning and land use in that strategy. So perhaps if you have connections in that space and you want to ping me, I'll put my email in the chat. I know we all want these projects to be successful, so I would love to hear your ideas if you have those. I know we want to keep these quick, so I can move on to the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we can have people ask questions too. Our
Okay.
collaborative, Jacqueline, at once we finish with all your projects. Let me know when you want me to advance to the next slide.
Great, I'm ready for the next slide. Project Kinship, they have a social enterprise program. They are looking to build a coffee cart business that's connected to their nonprofit organization. And their priority right now is to strengthen funder and partner readiness. They've also done a lot of work in the research space of best practices in coffee business and coffee cart, because that's a very different element than running a coffee shop itself. And then we've done some business and social enterprise modeling with them. So helping them think about how do you maintain your focus of mission when you add a revenue generation stream, and how do you make sure that all of that is a holistic approach. So we took a look at their financial model, developed some goals around revenue and what's possible when it comes to launch, what to expect in terms of financial gains and losses. And then also some planning around the permitting, the compliance, staffing needed to make this a successful program, set some goals around training and what ultimate outcomes they wanted from this project. And then we're really focusing in now on the go-to-market strategy and that coffee cart best practices. I would say that if, always looking out for, what are best practices in the industry, if you are connected to social enterprises, so nonprofits that have strong revenue generation streams in the food industry, and you're willing to make that connection to me, I would love to offer that to our team at Project Kinship.
Great, thank you. Are you ready for the next one?
I sure am.
All right.
People are going to be tired of me. All right, our fabulous friends at Cielo, they are looking at a accelerator to build on a childcare business incubator that they have. And I know Yosef is here, so good to hear from him this morning. So our latest priority has been to do the business modeling behind the accelerator and to really narrow into who the right audience is. Prior to that, the priority was research, and Yosefa and his team hired an evaluator to take a look at the current market and their current program participants, what they really needed out of an accelerator in order to make their childcare businesses successful, and also what the sector needs to support childcare businesses. So that research project completed. With that data and analysis, we were able to move into the next phase of design with First Five in partnership. So we have Christina here as well. It's great to see her, and she's been essential into the analysis of the landscape for children, and also with her expertise in the childcare space. So Cinda is another consultant with First Five that's been supporting this project. So it's definitely been a group approach to working with Yosefa and his team around building out this accelerator plan. It's really designing a program from the ground up, but using a research-based approach and leaning on the expertise that they have from running their incubator already.
Great. And I know Yosefa is here. Yosefa, there's anything you want to add in the chat? I know you're having issues with the microphone function, but feel free to supplement whatever Jacqueline just shared in the chat. And while you do that, we'll go on to the next one, Jacqueline.
Okay, yeah. Yosefa, feel free to add in because we can come back to you. And then the Orange County Iranian Chamber of Commerce, they're launching a program called Tavan, which has a multi-pronged approach to connecting the Persian community to economic advancement and career and workforce opportunities, ranging from childcare businesses and caregivers to green jobs. And one of the main ways that they are looking to do this is by connecting their community to existing training programs and then walking with them through one-on-one support and consulting. So we've been taking a look at how to message the programming and really solidify what they're offering. So it's clear to both the program participants, but also to community partners. Their main focus right now is fundraising. I think in recognition of how helpful Jobs First grant has been to them, they also noticed a need for additional funds in order to carry this program beyond launch, but more into sustainable measures. And so fundraising is the key focus for them. They also have an upcoming event on March 15th, which is very large, about 4,000 people, 150 exhibitors. So I would encourage everyone to check that out, attend and promote it in support of the Orange County Iranian Chamber of Commerce and their priorities.
Great. And I think a final program is the next slide.
Yes, so this is just launched with me. So Goodwill Industries of Orange County, they have an electrical vehicle supply equipment program. And it's really exciting. They're building on some lessons learned from other Goodwills across the country. So that's the best, right? When you can take what someone else has done and then tweak it and build it in your own community with lessons learned. So they're in the developing stages of that, but with coming in with lots of knowledge and expertise. This is a workforce readiness program. It's really tied into industry need for Orange County. I'm excited to see what Orange County Business Council and Dr. Walrod have and will be noting about the workforce needs in Orange County in the coming years. And I think this is aligned with the direction that our community is going. So they're training up a workforce to be able to work in this space.
Excellent. Unless there's any further slides, we can definitely take the slide deck down for a few minutes and then take some questions, if that's okay, Jacqueline.
Yes.
All right. Any comments or questions either in the chat or here off mute? Si tienen preguntas sobre los programas que acaba de compartir la compañera Jacqueline, pongan las preguntas en el chat o prendan el micrófono y háganlas aquí con el grupo. Botana, I think I see you with the first hand. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for the presentation. Quick question about Project Kinship. Is it by the end of the project they're going to have the small business coffee cart be up and running, or is this just going to be develop a business plan, just a plan? I wasn't really sure what the end.
Yeah. I believe, and I can pull up while we're talking here and confirm, but I do believe that launching the carts into business, acquiring the cart 100% is within the business plan.
I see.
And their plan ended before September 2026, which is, the Jobs First timeline. So I know launching the business, but I would say that in terms of how long the Jobs First program goes, that's more likely to when it'll be very public.
Mm-hmm.
But I think within their timeline they laid out with the grant, we're looking at late spring, early summer for having the cart and kind of materials and the plan in place.
I see. Not the business itself launching, but just the supply material.
Yes, I believe that's accurate, though, hopefully all that comes soon after. But as you know, with launching a new business or, with a new program within an organization, there's a lot of considerations and lessons learned along the way. So
Got it. Thank you. It would be great for us as a committee, to celebrate when Project Kinship have that business launch and be there to support. I would be the first customer being out there, to support.
Oh, I'd love that. I think that's a great idea. Like, how can we get, jobs first to share with the
Right.
community, with each other about when these big program launches are.
Right.
I love that.
Thank you.
All right, we have some comments in the chat from Josefa. The survey and analysis have been a great engagement tool to understand the landscape and target market. The result has really sharpened our program concept and design. And in addition to our great partners at First Five, Jacqueline's been a great facilitator of different parts of this project.
I mean, Josefa, I'll thank you later.
Jacqueline, I heard the same thing from Project Kinship a few weeks back in December. I attended one of their events. They reached out for me to attend, and not related to a Jobs First event, just personal. I like to volunteer with the justice impacted community, and they said the same thing. Please thank Jacqueline, and she's done such a great job in facilitating meetings with us and being supportive. So thank you for that. Thank you for being such a great asset.
Wow, thank you.
All right. Well, we can certainly spend the rest of the meeting praising Jacqueline's work.
Yeah.
I want to make sure do we have any other questions or comments on the floor before we move on to our next guest and sector investor coordinator. Any last questions or comments for the projects Jacqueline's working on? Okay. Well, thank you, Jacqueline, for the updates. We'll continue to make space at these meetings as we progress through the year so that folks can stay attuned to developments related to all this good work. But at this point, I am going to move on and invite our friend Christina, who's here with First Five. She is here to help us get the latest understanding on what Hope Community Services, the in-home childcare training, and Little Village projects are up to. And so, Christina, take it away. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Ish. Good morning. I hope you can hear me okay. My Wi-Fi is a little spotty right now, but
Fine.
okay, perfect. Thank you. So the Hope Community Services is developing an in-home child care training, as Ish mentioned. They have made a lot of progress. They distributed and collected some really good feedback from the Vietnamese community, which is their target audience. And they created a 6-week curriculum that they will take family members through to learn about child development and how to open a child care business. Some barriers that they've had over the last couple months are contact with community partners, such as community care licensing, regional centers, some of the partners that they would love to invite to participate in the workshop so that the participants learn about them. We think it could have been because of the holidays that people were maybe off and not responding to emails, as I just met with them 2 days ago and they were starting to get some emails and communication back. So I'm hoping that that bridge is going to get connected here over the next month or so. And then one of the biggest barriers that they do continue to have is finding CPR and first aid trainings in Vietnamese. They're really cognizant about providing the workshops in the participants' home language. So they wanted to bring in a trainer instead of having a translator or interpreter to have the materials in the home language. So they are still looking for that. I think they found somebody for CPR, but the first aid is a little different because it has to be a 16-hour workshop based on the community care licensing state requirements. So we continue to research where we can support there. And some of the considerations they're having, because they are having a lot of interest from their community, is splitting it into 2 cohorts instead of doing one, and having one focused on participants who don't want to get a business license or become licensed, and do a family, friend, and neighbor cohort focused on, I just want to take care of my niece or nephew or grandchild, and I just want to do it with a high quality emphasis. And then doing one for anybody that wants to become licensed and open a business. So kind of splitting the group into those 2 focus areas. So you can go to the next slide. And then we have the Little Village group. I just met with them earlier this month. They are looking to open a workspace oh my gosh, I can't think of the word, but a shared workspace in addition to a child care center in the shared workspace. So if I am a consultant and I would love to come to this workspace, I can bring my children and they can be cared for in the same building while I'm up in the shared workspace. So they were able to secure a location in Mission Viejo, and they secured an SBA loan to support with the startup expenses, as getting a location is expensive in Orange County, as Jacqueline mentioned in her update. So they are really excited about that, and now they can start moving forward with the design of the space and bringing on staffing to support what's going to happen in the space. Some barriers is additional funding. The SBA loan was less than they had applied for, and they felt like the SBA loan people kind of discredited how much it costs to pay for childcare staff, and so they gave them less than what they wanted. And that is a super unfortunate situation that we have in childcare, that it doesn't pay well for our providers. So we want to bring up that market cost, and they are really cognizant about paying a livable wage. So that is one of their concerns, but they are also looking at other funding sources to kind of make ends meet there. And then they also have a barrier in consultant support with an ECE expert, and that's perfect because that's where we are going to step in. We just got connected with them in December, so we are going to fill that void for them and bring in the expertise on early childhood staffing, environment, and a model for their programming. And then some of the considerations that they're having for the next couple of months as they move forward is an implementation of a model that provides both the shared workspace for the adults and the childcare program, where they can both function independently, but at the same time coexist in a family-friendly way so that families and children are all feeling supported in whatever they're there to get. So that is it for the Little Village.
Great. Thank you, Christina. Appreciate that. Any comments or questions from the group, whether in chat or here coming with the coming off of mute function? Anybody want to offer some comments, questions?
I see Gloria's comment. Thank you, Gloria. Go ahead, Maria.
Great. Any response to that, Christina, or any additional context?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to connect them for the Child Care Providers Union.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you for that, Gloria. Other comments or questions in the chat? Preguntas sobre estos dos programas, la presentación que acaba de dar la compañera Cristina. Okay.
Vatana, just a quick comment. I think
Go ahead.
Christina, for that. And I really appreciate the fact that we are flexible in terms of having our grantees, to decide on their project. For example, if not able to host like one group workshop, they can split it into two. And that flexibility, we allow them to, meet their goal in a way that are more culturally, linguistically, and also timely appropriate to their goal as well. I then appreciate that.
Great.
Thank you
for that additional context. Other questions or comments related to either one of these two projects? Okay. I'm not seeing any. So, Christina, thank you again, and we look forward to keeping an update on how these projects are progressing in future meetings here with the collaborative. All right. Well, with that, we're going to move on to our friend Kathy Boyd, who will be presenting on a couple projects as well. She'll be starting here with the Capistrano Unified Construction Pre-Apprenticeship Program, as well as the Advancing Culinary Futures Program at Coastline Community College, the Fullerton College Autonomous Systems Technician Training Hub, and the Neural Talent Works project as well. So, Kathy, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Ish. So Capistrano Unified School District is a K-12 district in Orange County, and they also within their context have an ROP that's in their structure, and it's called College and Career Advantage. So the person who leads the project, Chris Carter, is both an employee of Capistrano Unified as well as the lead for the ROP. He's been working with a construction program, but they formalized it with a pre-apprenticeship program, and that's what the work has been centered, is refining best practices around the pre-apprenticeship. But more than that, after the project started, there was a significant kind of opportunity within Orange County to blend his new program and idea with a full apprenticeship program, also in the like non-traditional space. So basically, Simon Builders, which is a huge nonprofit organization associated with the Simon Family Foundation, has also joined this conversation, and they are bringing funding. So he is not only doing a pre-apprenticeship, he is going to be having a full apprenticeship model, and they've just started that this year in one of their alternative high schools. So they've already secured the state of California pre-apprenticeship approval, and now they're working with a partnership with OC Pathways and OCDE to do the full apprenticeship model with the Department of Labor as well as the Division of Apprenticeship Standards. This is going to be at San Juan Hills High School for they're basically building a tiny home in a container. And these tiny homes are dropped off by the foundation, built over a year, and then brought back into housing insecurity issues around Orange County to solve homeless issues. So it's a really cool project that students get to see the fruit of their labor being used in a really cool economic prosperity way for Orange County. Construction modifications are still underway at the two sites. San Juan Hills High School and Union High School are both going to have these programs, pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship. So there's a lot of things you have to do at a school site to make sure that you're falling within the parameters of what's legal. And we're working through that with him. And he's recruiting students right now for a summer accelerated program to kind of keep the pipeline of students going, where they can enter into either the pre-apprenticeship coursework, which is like grades 9 and 10, and then the apprenticeship coursework can be in grades 10 and 11. So we have some really cool products of kids understanding. I think there's something like 45 different trades that you're getting exposed to when you build a tiny home. So anyway, very, very cool stuff happening there. And we could move to the next slide. Mm-hmm. The Advancing Culinary Futures Project is with Stephanie Fager at Coastline Community College. And they've basically established a model where they're going to have 27 paid internships across Orange County of students in the restaurant industry. But what they're really doing is solidifying a framework, a better framework of what's available when you're looking at going into the culinary industry. So from a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, entry level, mid level, and professional skills level jobs. They're doing a very comprehensive job. And Stephanie and I were just talking yesterday, and we almost feel like we came up with a really cool graphic. And I'm like, every industry should have this so that somebody who's thinking of an industry understands the progression of the different kinds of positions available based on how many certifications you want to get as you're going through your journey, or maybe it requires a degree or doesn't. But there's some really cool things being established through this resourcing and framework that she's building. The program features are looking at, again, a 4-phase pathway where they do career exploration and preparation. Then they turn it into an internship. Then it goes into an advanced pre-apprenticeship, and then finally a registered apprenticeship. So sometimes that could start in high school. Other times it could be all the way through the college experience or beyond the college experience. But they're doing all different features, kind of like multiple ingress points and multiple egress points for people that are interested going into this culinary, and then using the different free and public opportunities within Orange County to possibly take advantage of that. I think we can go to the next slide. Fullerton College's Autonomous System Technician Training Hub with Jay. We started this project out. Jay had a lot already established because he's been doing drone development with other industry sectors, but he was looking at two new industry sectors. I think it was aerospace and defense and things like that. So it's been a little bit of a challenge for Jay to get responses from the companies in Orange County, at least, that are looking for employees in this field. So we're just creating a lot of different things. We tried a survey but didn't get any responses. And the next thing is we're actually going to have more of a like one-touch relationship. So Jay has established a lot of first touch points at conferences when he attends, and he makes conversations happen. And at the conference, people are very excited about it, it seems. But then when it comes to the follow-up, there's not much happening. So he has a week off between the next semester or the term starting in the areas that he teaches. So he's going to be doing some cold calling in person. And we are going to assist him with that by doing some personal follow-up with one of our employees to look at the local Orange County companies and talk to the right, maybe hiring person, probably somebody in HR, who can look to establish that interest and develop an actual apprenticeship so he can place the students. But beyond that, Jay is also building college students as ambassadors to the elementary schools and to the high schools that are either doing programs or just clubs, so that he can build that pipeline of students who are interested in getting into the college certification drone programming. So the companies in Orange County are around 15 that he's identified that he's still targeting. And I've mentioned some of those names. And if anybody knows anybody at any of these companies that would be interested in going through an apprenticeship, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to connect them. But that's been a little bit of a stall point for this program, and it's still developing great. And it's, this is the hard work that you do when you're starting to get an apprenticeship going.
And if anyone has those connections and wants me to connect you with Kathy Boyd, please let me know. I'd be happy to.
Thank you. And then NeuroTalent Works is a great project. We love Jessica. So Jessica started a project in LA before she got this Catalyst grant, and she was working with the insurance industry specifically. But after this grant, she's looking at developing in Orange County, basically advancing neurodiverse people in the workforce across every sector. So she's developing a cohort learning program right now. And I've connected her with the Orange County Workforce Development Board so that we can utilize some of the organizations that are already in that. She had already done some work with the Los Angeles Workforce Development Board. And so whatever has happened there is kind of looking to possibly be replicated at the Orange County Workforce Space and Development Board. So again, she is looking at registered apprenticeships and employer programs through that. We've identified the interest of possibly doing a conference together at my site at the Orange County Department of Ed, where she's going to bring like 80 to 100 attendees to preview their neurodiversity training program. So Jessica's program hits both the companies, where she'll do training with organizations so that people can understand how to best work with neurodiverse people. But she also has the other side where they're working with individuals who are neurodiverse to make sure that they can acclimate well into any company and organization. The last part, working on a lead agency in Orange County. So she's establishing a lead agency in Orange County, or a group, to start this work happening in Orange County more than LA. And right now, I think last time we talked, it was still, is it Ratty or Rady? I know it's the new name for that. Children's Hospital is the one that hopefully they're getting partnership with. And I don't know, Maria, if she ended up getting the check picture yet, but she was waiting for the Rady or Ratty confirmation of contract with her before she wanted to do that with that partner if possible.
Yeah, no worries. And the government affairs team and I at OCBC are still working through all of that. I don't even think we're halfway through the check with the awardees. Yeah, we have to work with the legislative offices. But we're making our way there. There were 46 awardees.
Kathy,
she's so funny. She just felt bad. She's like, I never got back to her, and I'm like, I'll get to her. And then I hadn't told you. Go ahead, Ish. Sorry.
No problem. Kathy, a couple questions for you. We have one in the chat, and then I see Linda's hand. We'll start with the one in the chat. This question's from Josefa. Is the drone program aligned or built upon the work Zoot was doing at Fullerton College? Sounds familiar. What's the step?
So Zoot is the foundation for Fullerton College, and then Jay is an employee at Fullerton College and Cal State Fullerton and Long Beach. He's doing faculty at a lot of different places. So absolutely, they are related, and they all come from the same foundation. But Jay in this one is actually just looking at spurring off into different industry sectors. His long-term goal is not just, he started in a couple industry sectors, and now he's trying to expand to as many as possible. So yes, they are related.
Great, thank you. And then we have a hand up from Linda. Go ahead, Linda.
Yeah, Yeah, hi Kathy. I just all the coordinators are wonderful, but I just have to do a big shout out for Kathy because I tell you, every time I get on a call with her, I realize how little I know. She is just such an amazing and impressive leader. So thank you. The issue with the drones, I mean, boy, I'll tell you, if ever there were. I mean, Jay is on this. He's working with one of our nonprofit accelerator graduates, Drones for Kids. I mean, this is just like, it's so there. But Kathy's right. I mean, we're not getting the response um, from the industries that we had anticipated. In other words, that we're trying to make it actually easier for them to access this talent and these skills. So my question is less to Kathy, but more to OCBC, in that in your relationship building with the industry sectors, um, I mean, trying to find a way to let them know that this is serious opportunity here. That because they're always, quite frankly, almost always complaining about how they just can't access the talent and they don't know where to go for this and kind of thing. And here we are trying to build that infrastructure. So are there any sort of overarching OCBC programs or uh, collectives, if you will, that are really helping industries understand the opportunity and accessibility of these programs?
Dr. Walrod, would you like to come off mute?
Yeah, really.
Sure, we do that all the time, Linda. Yeah, you're right.
Wallace, I appreciate you do that all the time. Specifically, do you think they
We have
understand?
been working with Jay on this, so yes.
Oh, well, that's splendid. I'd not heard that. Good. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
you bet.
And for the sake of time, Kathy, I want to just say thank you for your updates here. If there are additional comments or questions, I invite folks to put them in the chat so that we can make time for the remaining, I believe, 10 projects that we need to hear from. So, Martha, I see your hand up, but if you're okay with just putting that in the chat, unless it's really quick and we can address it fast.
I'll do it really quick. Good morning, everyone. Linda, just to mention, the OCBC offers the Workforce Development Committee meeting monthly. That's put on by Jesse, and I participate. And so every month they have different industries come in and talk about what the needs are, where the skills gap. So OCBC is really leading efforts in that particular area, as the colleges and the connect with the employers.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Just wanted to
Thank you
mention
so much.
Thank you for that, Martha. Apolonio, miro su pregunta en el chat. I do see your question in the chat, Apolonio. I'm going to invite Maria and Jacqueline to help follow up with Apolonio for a response to his question related to the electric vehicle supply equipment project. So we can do that offline for the sake of time here. Se van a comunicar con usted, Apolonio, María y Jacqueline, para darle una respuesta a su pregunta. Como estamos aquí con poquito tiempo, queremos darle suficiente espacio para que los demás nos den las novedades de los otros proyectos. Entonces, so we'll continue with Frankie. Frankie, if you can come off mute and give us an update on your 6 projects, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy Friday. My name is Frankie Barajas, and I'm with Adelante Partners. And we have been assigned to these 6 organizations, starting with Cooperación Santa Ana. The project is a concept stage project exploring the feasibility of developing a worker-owner cooperative incubator and a marketplace in Santa Ana. The work centers on a market analysis, community engagement, site scoping, and financial feasibility to assess the viability of community-controlled mercado that supports the small food and retail entrepreneurs from disinvested communities. The initial phase 1 milestones have been completed. The project is now focused on the market analysis and the feasibility activities, which have been scheduled between months 4 to 10. So the initial market research is well underway, including the community outreach and survey distribution to assess the need and the feasibility. The project has selected and contracted an economic development consultant, which we were a part of, with helping to walk through the selection criteria and then from the pool of contractors, making the informed decision on which ones to move forward with. And so that was completed within the first 3 months. And we are proactively now working with the organization and the contracted consultant to scope out what type of administrative and coordination needs can be alleviated not beyond just the advisory support and stepping in more into project management for coordination functions. So this project remains on track with the approved timeline and scope of work. For La Milpa Cafe, it's a community-anchored food enterprise focused on culturally rooted cuisine, local sourcing, and workforce opportunity. The project integrates food access, job training, and small business operations to support inclusive economic development while serving as a platform for cooperative or community-based ownership models. The client has been extremely busy with the foundational setting and planning for their project, and we have scheduled our first introductory call meeting for Monday, the 26th, to review the project and identify continued areas of support where we may be helpful. For the Community Health Initiative of Orange County, Health Access and Community Health Worker Trainings, it's a capacity building initiative designed to expand access to care through community health worker trainings. The project is focused on strengthening CHEOC's training infrastructure and improving their outreach and service delivery, and also equipping frontline workers to better serve underserved communities across Orange County. And we've been working really close with Maria at OCBC to assist with assessing their full needs at this moment. For Bose Consulting, this is a climate resilient vertical farm feasibility study. So to assess the viability of a climate resilient vertical farming model, the work does examine market demand, operational requirements, financial sustainability, and community impact with the goal of advancing food security, climate adaptation, and local economic opportunity. The team is currently in phase 3 of this work, which is their market research and community development in alignment with the contracted scope of work. Over the past 2.5 months, outreach and meetings have been conducted with a range of community-based organizations to assess the food insecurity, affordability, and demand for fresh foods, focusing on both CBO-served communities and those identified in phase 2 as most underserved in food access. The team has begun distributing a community survey through our partner CBOs and continues to receive responses. Once a sufficient number of surveys has been collected, the focus groups will be starting to conduct over the next 4 to 6 weeks to further inform this phase of the work. But the project does remain on track with the approved timeline and scope of work. For the Orange County Conservative Corps, it is a wildfire response and recovery job training for resilient community, which essentially is a workforce development project providing training and employment pathways in wildfire response, mitigation, and recovery. The initiative does aim to build a skilled local workforce to strengthen community resilience to climate impacts and create quality jobs in environmental stewardship and emergency response. And with this one, I'm also working closely with Maria from OCBC with assistance on how we can assess their full needs for advising and project management. And then lastly, for the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, we have been introduced with them this past month. And they are planning and developing an effort to establish an Orange County-based community development financial institution, so a CDFI. The project supports access to capital, technical assistance, and financial education for underserved small businesses and entrepreneurs with a focus on equitable economic growth. We have facilitated a handful of intro calls with our CEO, and we have determined because of their longstanding relationship and our CEO's financial expertise and his background in banking that he will serve as the advisor for the role. We are still in the process of discussing cadence of communications, but Ruben has expressed interest in needing project management support. So I'm currently assisting with conducting a landscape analysis of best practices to launch a CDFI in the region, and also case studies of any existing models in Orange County. And yeah, that's my update for all 6 for today.
Great. Thank you, Frankie. Any questions or comments, either in the chat or coming off of mute, if there's a question we can entertain here? Otherwise, we will move on. In the chat, I see a comment from Josefa. Cameo, the California Association of Micro Enterprise Orgs.
Oh, yeah.
Has a CDF incubator and could be a great partner.
I just want to add, as a general observation across all of them, in the last month, we went from serving as an advisory role and being more proactive. And we've been more assertive with, because what I'm finding with these nonprofit leaders is that they're having a really hard time delegating and offloading tasks. So we've been now proactive with saying we will go ahead and take that off your plate, because there's been sort of like this them getting familiar with our service and like how they really want to utilize us. So I find it more useful, for example, with Orange County Hispanic Chambers, where he was like, I need to conduct a needs assessment and a general landscape analysis. And just being proactive with saying like, I will do that for you has been more helpful for our nonprofit clients versus just letting it up to them to let us know what they want us to support with. So just kind of an observation in terms of if anybody else who is supporting in this capacity.
Great. Thank you, Frankie. I welcome questions in the chat for Frankie and the 6 projects that he just gave an update on. Want to move us into a report from Anna, who's here to tell us about the 4 projects she's affiliated with.
Could I just say before you head into that, if someone from OCBC could comment maybe in the chat or separately to confirm the use of sector investment coordinators. I think it's a great idea. I want to be responsive to my projects as well, and I appreciate that analysis. So I would, I know we have another presenter, so I don't want to disrupt that, but that would be helpful.
Great. Thank you, Jacqueline. Anna, are you available? Let me see if
Hey, can you hear me okay?
We can. Yes, welcome. The floor is yours.
Apologies, having a little bit of camera and microphone difficulties
No
here,
problem.
but
Maria does have a slide up with the 4 projects you're involved with.
perfect, amazing. So hi everyone, my name is Anna Shaver and I'm a part of the Marathon team. It's a public affairs and relations firm that largely specializes in land use and community development. My colleagues Evan Gordon and Gabe Kramer are also on this webinar right now and can assist in answering any follow-up questions we have at the end. Just in the interest of everyone's time, we will kind of keep our overviews on the briefer side, but we are very excited to share some of the work that we've been doing in Orange County. So currently we are working with the city of Anaheim, the city of Garden Grove, the county of Orange, and the city of Westminster on a range of projects. So just kind of starting off in Anaheim, the city is currently developing Store One, which is a new center that will serve as a hub for culinary entrepreneurship and workforce training. At this time, our team is kind of still finalizing our specific scope and setting up a meeting in coordination with the Store One team. But based on initial conversations, it'll largely include, media relations, community outreach, and event strategy for spring 2026, marketing strategy implementation, and just developing an overall community engagement plan that will include some of City of Anaheim's highlights throughout the year, such as their inaugural Ciclavia that will be happening. Moving on here to the cities of Garden Grove, they're currently collaborating to create a more cohesive streetscape through their respective Little Saigon districts. And you'll notice here too, we are also working on another project in conjunction with Little Saigon as well too. But just similar to the Anaheim project, we're currently working kind of to determine our scope with the team. But based on some initial conversations we had, it will likely include devising and supporting the implementation of an overarching community outreach plan for the landscape architecture envisioned, and media relations support for the establishment of a PBID and complementary tourism campaign. And switching on over to the County of Orange, this is with Common Good, which is a workforce re-entry center. Designed to provide resources and services for individuals who are formerly incarcerated. We have connected with the Common Good team and they're prepared to move forward with their scope of work. We actually just received the green light to kind of start work on the project, which we're all very excited about. And that support will kind of focus on building a project website, developing a strategy to drive engagement to the site, and creating just a comprehensive community plan for their implementation. With this project, our goal is largely to increase awareness and support for the project, bolster their fundraising efforts, and encourage community members to learn more and stay informed about Common Good. And lastly here, moving on to the city of Westminster, they recently have hired a Little Saigon outreach coordinator who we've been in close communications with and are advancing efforts to also improve their streetscapes, build some public-private partnerships, develop like Little Saigon specific marketing materials, and introduce available grant programs to the broader community. So far with them, we've established a weekly meeting and, we're in close communication with them. We're currently supporting their soap and water campaign, which is set to launch in mid-February. And we're largely doing that through the review and development of some campaign collateral, and as well as just the creation of recommended organizational plans and outreach tracking tools. Another initiative that we've been working on is something that highlights Westminster Little Saigon businesses through media engagement, which will also be launching here in the near future as well. And just moving forward, we will support some of their presentations at local and regional events and help organize meetings to kind of explore some of those public-private partnership options, which is kind of in alignment with their Little Saigon blueprint. So that's kind of what we're doing in Orange County, and welcome for any questions and
Great.
comments.
Great. Actually, Anna, if you wouldn't mind dropping your email address in the chat, so if folks have any questions or comments they want to offer you, they can follow up with you accordingly so that we can make yourself available to them. And
Yeah, no worries. Can go ahead and do that.
thank you. And I know we're losing folks here because of other commitments, but I appreciate those of you who are able to stick around for a couple extra minutes. Maria, I know you have a couple of other updates if you want to quickly just run us through those.
I will. Thank you everyone who stayed, and thank you to all our sector investment coordinators for presenting today. So I'll start off with the Cal State Fullerton OC AMC project. So for this project, the project activities have focused on stakeholder engagement, preparation for workforce needs assessment for the OC Advanced Manufacturing Collective. They also began stakeholder mapping and engagement preparation and began developing the data collection framework for the workforce needs assessment. So that included outlining methodologies, identifying relevant regional labor market data sources, and then considering potential survey tools. And then in October, they organized and hosted the Green Energy Manufacturing and Technology Expo at Cal State Fullerton, and the event served as an early ecosystem building and stakeholder engagement activity aligned with their goals, bringing together industry professionals, educators, students, workforce partners, and community stakeholders. I'll go to the next slide. CEO Leadership Alliance. So this project focused on foundational partnership development, governance, alignment, and early curriculum design activities. They also convened all core project partners to align project goals, roles, timelines, and deliverables, which established the governance and coordination structure needed to carry out the remaining scope of work, and ensured alignment across employer education and public agency partners. They developed course content, and classes officially launch next week with an in-person kickoff on January 14. Jesse and I attended the launch of the program and had the opportunity to meet some of the members of the cohort. Enrollment will continue on a rolling basis for future cohorts pending confirmation from UCI, DCE. Next one is Access California Services. So they completed all phase 1 activities to ensure that the site is safe, suitable for development, and aligned with local and state requirements. Phase 1 activities included completion of a site survey to establish a clear base map for design, geotechnical testing to evaluate soil stability and drainage, and then an environmental site assessment reviewed past and current site uses to identify any potential environmental concerns, and then initial CEQA coordination with the city of Anaheim, clarified review requirements, and confirmed alignment with local land use and zoning. Go to the next one. We're almost done. Cap OC Garza Avenue. So the project activities focused on responding to County of Orange Planning Department questions related to final plan approval with support from subcontractors and guidance from Studio 111. And the county is expected to complete its final review. This was by late September with potential approval in January. And then Cap OC and Studio 111 also met with the County Community Development and Housing Department regarding a pending $1 million home loan and 8 Section 8 vouchers. And then Cap OC expects to fully expend the Catalyst grant with an invoice submitted in late December, and we'll continue pursuing additional capital support. Next one. The International Association of Heat and Frost Insulators. So the project coordinated with their international partner to finalize the training curriculum, and then they completed the preliminary logistics to support upcoming training delivery. They also purchased outreach materials and conducted community outreach to support building the assessment deliverables. And that included tabling and presenting at 3 community events with additional events scheduled. So they've definitely been staying very busy. This outreach reached thousands of Orange County residents and then generated assessment leads and partnership opportunities with Orange County-based community orgs. They've also partnered with Sustain SoCal to deliver a mobile thermographic lab demonstration for over 100 honors biology students at Brea Olinda High School, and supported both outreach and workforce pipeline development. They're now planning a hands-on building assessment training with the same student cohort, which will result in 1 completed building assessment toward project targets. And then we have our last project, City of Anaheim permit fee waiver. So the economic development staff met with the interdepartmental teams to define the scope of work and then clearly outline program objectives. The coordination established a shared understanding of goals and positioned the program for issuance of requests for proposal in the first quarter of 2026. And I know we went really quickly. It's 10:07 a.m. now. So if you have any questions about any of the projects that I presented on, please do send me an email. You have my email address so that I can go ahead and respond to you.
Great. Thank you, Maria. And before we wrap up, I just want to give 2 remind or offer 2 pieces of info I dropped in the chat. Our next collaborative meeting will be virtual. That's scheduled for Friday, March 13th at 9 a.m. And then I also shared that there is an upcoming event, the 2026 Orange County Economic Opportunity Report Release event, where Dr. Walrod will be presenting. Dr. Walrod, if you want to offer maybe just a couple seconds on where that is taking place. And I see you're dropping the link in for registration in the chat, but anything you'd like to share about that?
Thanks, Ish. Yeah, very quickly, we've been working with the Orange County Community Foundation, Orange County United Way, Orange County Department of Ed and OC Pathways, and then Coast Community College District to put together this report, released on February 17th, 2 to 5 at the Cove at UCI. So everybody's welcome.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, great weekend. We'll see you in March. If you have any questions in the interim, please reach out to our team at OCBC, starting with Maria, and specifics on the projects. Please communicate with the sector investment coordinators on questions you may have. Good seeing you all. We'll look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.
Thanks, Ish.